So I was able to come into your classes today and see whole group social studies and science lesson, and we've been talking a lot about whole group. So it was great that I was able to come in and see. And one of the things that I know you've been working with Julian and Aaron with me is tone and outward excitement for the lesson. And when I was in there, tone was very positive, and you demonstrated outward excitement for the lesson while executing instruction and while redirecting student behavior. So how did that feel?
It felt really great, yeah.
Giving effective feedback after an observation is the difference between evaluating a teacher and developing a teacher. In this clip, we see Julie use the first 5 steps of effective feedback. She started with precise praise and then gave Carly the chance to celebrate her success. Then she asked a targeted question on the part of the lesson where she wants to focus.
What do you think the purpose of prompting is? So let's talk about what the purpose of prompting is.
I think the main purpose is to scaffold the students so we know that they're never opting out.
The purpose of prompting is to scaffold. When do you prompt?
When they don't know an answer.
Yes, so today in the lesson, there was 2 students I really keyed in on 2 prompts. Did you remember with Simon?
Now Julie is using evidence to focus Carly on her area of weakness rather than simply telling her.
What was your next prompt after that?
I asked for someone to give me another example?
Yes, you called on 4 different students to give you other examples of mammals, and they all were able to give them to you. Then you went back to Simon. But what does that do to the level of questioning?
It makes it seem easy?
Yes, so you reduce the rigor too quickly.
Okay.
So that's what I want to get at today, Carly, is that when you're prompting, yes, you're prompting, but you're reducing the level of rigor too quickly.
After giving the rationale for the problem, Julie states the concrete action step that Carly is going to work on, and then she gives her the opportunity to practice right there in the meeting.
So let's break this down a little bit more, you and I. So say he gives you an example that's not a mammal at that particular point. What might you do next?
Depending on what the example was.
Well, let's make up one. This thing when he might give you.
So say he gave me fish.
Okay.
I would probably say, well, we were talking about classification, so how would you classify a fish?
Right.
And knowing Simon, he would probably say they're cold-blooded vertebrates. We'd say, okay, well, is a mammal cold-blooded? Or maybe that would be leading. But I'd say, well, how is a mammal classified? As a warm-blooded vertebrate. Okay, there's one difference there, so a fish can't be a mammal.
The feedback doesn't stop there. They then take out a lesson plan and capture the action steps right into the plan.
Maintaining the rigor.
All right, great. So let's take a look at the lesson for tomorrow. So if we want to think about next steps and able to apply that, now that we already have the lesson for tomorrow, what might you do in order to make sure you're applying and break it down?
Well, I could also feed into, the PD that we had on Tuesday.
Okay.
Because for controlling the game, I could probably obviously I don't have this when I'm doing my rapid fire, but tonight when I'm rehearsing the lesson at home, I could anticipate weaknesses, so anticipate things kids are going to struggle on, and plan out those prompts ahead of time.
Okay, let's pick 1 or 2 and do 1 or 2 together. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
What we've just seen are the highest leverage 15 minutes between a leader and teacher. Not only did they identify the right action step, they practiced it and made it a reality.